Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first session of the Shepherd Trials. It's our actual play, and I'm Antonio D'Amico. I will be your DM for the rest of the campaign. And with me, we have a brand new cast that I would like to introduce you to. So, without further ado, Sarah!
Hello! Hi, how are you?
What's up?
Introduce yourself.
I'm doing great. I thought you were going to go through everybody. My name is Sarah Alpha G. I am the creative director here at Multiverse, and I will be playing Nevia on the Shepherd Trials.
Fantastic. Meg, who are you?
I'm Meg, or Megan. Hello. I'm lead artist over at One More Multiverse, and I'll also be playing in this lovely campaign as Joy. So excited to be here. So excited to be chatting with you all today.
Drag.
Hi,
I guess this is the question I'm asking.
Who am I? I'm Draconic, or Drac for short. I use he/him pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Zala, also uses he and pronouns in this actual play, which I'm very excited for everyone to meet up my character. It's going to be fun.
Fantastic. And Nunu, what about you?
Hello, I am Nunu, he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Leon, also he, him pronouns, in the Shepherd Trials.
Fantastic.
The Shepherd Trials.
In the world. That's how we start. So yes, today is going to be a very chill stream where we all get to introduce ourselves to you guys. We get to meet the cast, and we get to meet the characters a little bit, but not in a normal way. What we're gonna do today is we're actually gonna use the platform that we're gonna be using to stream the whole and to play in during the whole campaign. We're gonna use it to kind of tell you who these characters are by building their own rooms. So we're using, as you heard in the cast interviews, you heard oh, I'm the creative director, I'm so important. Oh, you heard, oh, I'm the level artist. I'm also very important. I'm level artist. And everyone is very important here. So we are all actually working in the same company, building a platform where you can play any TTRPG. And we're choosing to play D&D today. And we're going to play D&D further on in this Shepherd Trials kind of thing that we'll talk about more anon. But today, we're going to use that same platform to kind of show you who these characters are a little bit through the platform itself by building their own rooms. And that's what you're seeing on stream.
Hey.
Cool.
Fantastic. So I have prepared some hot, scalding, boiling interview questions for these guys. I don't know them at all. I've never talked to them before. That's a joke, by the way. We're all friends. But we do have been working on this amazing platform.
I just got pulled off the street. I apparently needed an extra person on some streams things. So I just got pulled on.
I just looked at him. You look like you have nothing to do, and that's how we got him.
And you weren't wrong, so you know.
Fantastic. So, I want you all to give a little backstory of your own, not of your characters. We will reveal that later on. I want to give to the viewers some backstory of your own. So, where are you from? Where are you going? What are you looking after in life? What are you looking for in life? Are you finding yourself? What is your favorite color? Is it yellow? Sarah.
Putting me on blast right out the gate. I am tuning in live from Boston, born and raised here, came out of the womb fresh with an N64 controller in hand, a good old weeb from the start. And you're asking some hard-hitting questions. Is my
Just
favorite color
yellow?
What should indeed. For me, I have to say that everything you need to know about me is my favorite color is in fact yellow. I do firmly believe more people as they grow older should tell each other their favorite colors, their favorite dinosaurs, their favorite planet. We don't ask each other that enough. So in that order it goes yellow, Triceratops, and Neptune. And I would probably say that a lot of my kind of touchstones as a creator, as an illustrator, and of course as a player too, comes from my love of history, my love of artwork, my deep nerdiness that formed within a lot of video games on a GameCube, and yeah. that's probably my deep character backstory. But you must be a level 14 friend to get any more.
Of course. We will do a companion quest later on to find out more. However, I would like to do a little bit of pushback and ask, how come your favorite color is yellow and your favorite planet is Neptune?
I don't think I need a reason for either. I think you should chase your joy, chase your bliss, even when they are in the form of a giant gas-filled planet. I think it's really important to just recognize the things that make you happy in that way, whether it is an entire lifeless planet. Yes.
Wishy-washy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us who you're playing, by the way. Yeah, introduce just a little bit of your character. Who is...
Just a little bit of my character. I am playing the half-elf bard Nebbia. And as I'm setting up this room for her now, her background is as a sailor. She was a deckhand on a ship of her relatives, and she comes into the city of Port Camello that same way. It's always been a city in the distance, and she's excited to now be a part of it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for that marvelous introduction. Nunu, would you like to introduce yourself now?
Of course, yeah. Again, I'm Nuno. I am London-based, United Kingdom, but actually I was born and raised in Portugal, the westernmost country in Europe, huh? Yeah, actually my journey here is a bit of a complicated one. I was trained to be a man of science, and somehow I'm here on stream playing characters.
What went wrong?
Yeah. I don't know what went wrong with my life. I don't know. How did I end up here? Oh no! Shut the stream. End it. But no, yeah. Recently, I've discovered my passion for tabletop RPGs and my creative side a little bit more, and I'm delving a little bit more into that as well, while still finishing a degree in science. But we don't need to get into that. As for my, I think now that Sarah said it, we should all go color
You should tell
dinosaur.
me who your favorite who apparently. What your favorite color is, your favorite dinosaur, your favorite planet.
Exactly.
There you
In that
go.
order: turquoise, Triceratops, Sarah, and Jupiter.
I hope we're all Triceratops smash, because I'm also
I hope so,
Triceratops.
yeah. Yes.
It's simple pleasures.
It's
you
a
know?
simple pleasure of life.
Tri-gang.
But who is your character? Who are
My
they?
character is Leon Ausband. He's an orcish bard. Yeah, I don't want to delve too much into it, but he's a bit of a fancy boy. I think you can tell by the artwork anyway. But yeah, super excited to play a high charisma character. It's been a while since I've played D&D. I'm excited.
No, is that a challenge for you to play a hard charisma character?
No, it isn't. It isn't, because now that I think about it, my current character that I play on another stream is also quite charismatic.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a different type of charisma, though. This one's gonna be slightly different.
Fantastic. Megan, would you like to introduce yourself now?
Yes, I would. So I'm Megan. I am located here in Scotland right now, but I'm a bit of a nomad. I'm originally from the US, but I kind of travel, jump around, living in Norway, living in the US, living in Sweden, living in Scotland, just kind of hopping around. And I've kind of been doing that game dev nomad life thing for a while now. Before Multiverse, I was a 3D artist doing humble little indie game development projects.
That's what we met.
Yeah, that is when we
Yeah.
met. Yeah, it was a very wholesome time.
Yeah.
And
We were young.
we were young and impressionable, and it went south from there. No, I found Multiverse, and it's been awesome ever since. I've been with Multiverse for 2 years now, and yeah, other than that, I also have art directed some a D&D book called Eyes Unclouded. But I don't want to get too into my own personal achievements before. I need to talk about what matters, and that is colors and dinosaurs. And I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite dinosaur is an oculodendibus.
Calm down.
She knows big words.
All
you
right,
know?
Meg.
All right.
Oh, wow.
You've read a book.
It is the smallest dinosaur ever.
You're proud of
That's it. I
You don't have
googled
a
it
favorite
5
color?
minutes
You don't
ago.
have a favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color.
Duchesses?
I feel like the dinosaur was really the most important one, but I will say,
Your favorite color is dinosaur.
I think, I don't really have a favorite color. I feel like it's something that right now I feel like it's like this yellow. It's like it's been a yellow. It's a yellow time of the year. And otherwise, a favorite planet. Oh geez. I'm gonna go with Earth.
Thank you.
Aww.
It's because this is where we are.
Do you also pick human in every like fantasy game?
Well, no.
I do not.
I
don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah,
playing a
clearly not.
tiefling
You're
this
playing
game.
What's her name?
And I
God,
play
yeah.
many tieflings. I love me some tieflings. My tiefling's name is Joy. Joy Everlight. And she is basically a paladin of fun. But also kind of like safety first, safety matters. And that's going to be very important to her. She's kind of like...
She's
She's
fun.
kind of like
and
a
yet
flight
she does
attendant.
not.
Yeah. She's kind of like a flight attendant. Like they would give you like an extra bottle of liquor, but also they would lay their life down for you. Make sure that you have the mask on if you're going down, prioritize your safety first. That's the vibe. I won't get too much into detail about her. That's the vibe. Okay.
Fantastic. Well, every time you make a D&D character, you gotta ask yourself, are they a flight attendant? That is, all the D&D person does saying. That is a very...
And the answer was yes.
The answer for you was yes. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Drac, are you a flight attendant?
Me as a person or my character? Because I guess that
In your
depends.
soul.
In my soul, I
Within you.
think within me, I think I am a flight attendant. Yes, but I think I missed my calling quite a while ago, so I don't think I ever be able to be one. So I might just pretend to be one in a TTRPG.
I'm good.
Next best thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Draconic Drac. I am located also in the UK, but I'll just say Greater London because if I say the exact place, no one will know where it is. So, Greater London. I have been playing TTRPGs for just under 2 years now. I kind of just dived headfirst into it. So I played for like a couple of months and then immediately started streaming them. So I stream all over the place. This is not my only stream, but this is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. Don't tell everyone else.
It's our stream.
He complimented us. This is the first time he's ever said anything nice to us.
Wait, hold on. You're going to make me sound like an awful person.
I'm just joking.
But are you?
But are you? We are joking.
We're joking.
I'm a TTRPG streamer. I am co-founder of a channel as well, TTRPG channel called Friends Roll Dice. I'm currently started writing some TTRPG stuff as well. So, I'm just really digging into TTRPGs and making it my new obsession. Now, color, dinosaur, and planets. Color.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite color is green, like a deep green. It's probably my favorite. And red. I like blood red, but I think I'll go blood red actually. Blood red is probably my favorite.
How dark?
It's actually probably my favorite color. My favorite dinosaur is a Diplodocus. It's a really long neck, long necked one.
Yeah.
Favorite planet is also Jupiter, and I have a reason. I'm not giving it. I'm just not randomly saying it because
I'm not
giving
bullshitting
it
right
a
now.
I have a reason. I'm like Sarah, who doesn't have a reason for why yellow is her favorite color. I
has a reason. She's not telling us. It's because of Sailor Neptune from Sailor Moon.
Listen, we all had our different
is...
formative moments.
My favorite planet is Jupiter because it's been essentially the protector of Earth quite a few times. Because of its gravitational pull, it's deflected a lot of asteroids that would have made a direct course for Earth plenty of times and also took the hits directly. So it's kind of like a superhero planet. So I find that very cool.
Wow.
Respect.
Nice.
Respect, Jupiter.
Superhero planet is. I'm so sorry to say that is the big bad evil of the campaign.
Oh,
just
no.
calm down, guys. It
The
was fun.
betrayal.
We heard everybody's favorite color. We
Right.
heard Oculum Noctilus from Meg, and now we can back up and go home because there's not much else to do. No, I jest and I joke. No, I want to say
Wow, I didn't. I knew this already.
I want to say my favorite color now. However,
Yes.
please ask me.
Yeah.
about it.
Antonio, what is your favorite color?
Well, thank you
down
so
on
much for
Santana?
asking. My favorite color is orange because it's the color of happiness. I feel like it's yellow but better.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
Wow.
whoa.
Wow.
Those are fighting words.
I love orange. I love orange and I love burgundy. My favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops again. He just seems fun. It's like a cow. Who doesn't love that? It's like a dinosaur cow. He's great.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that. It actually
is
kind of is.
Yeah.
I love dinosaur cow. And my favorite planet is, without a shadow of a doubt, Venus, because I'm a Virgo. That's it. That's my reason.
That's it. Wait,
Fantastic. Thank you so much for
Before
asking
we
me
say
that. What?
before we say anything else,
Yeah.
can we start level building? I really want to. I've
thought
been
you
staring at my
started.
blank room.
Started. It
I-
was on you.
I've started.
Star started.
Oh, we need to
I
switch over
started.
to-
Oh my
we need to
gosh,
switch over
you
to that screen
did.
then.
I feel betrayed.
Why?
I feel
Wow.
betrayed.
So as you
We
can
need to
see,
show everyone what we're doing.
while y'all catch
Yeah.
up here, as you can see, while the lazy ones catch up here, Sarah
The
is
lazy
level
ones,
building
wow.
on Multiverse, and it looks fucking amazing. So Sarah, I mean, we can
Yes.
pretty easily tell, but if some of the viewers, I don't know, are not, quite as insightful as you are, what kind of room are you building?
Yeah, so my character Nebia starts out kind of as a deckhand. She's lived most of her life on the ship, and I just figure when she wakes up in the morning, she's waking up to her own like little corner of this ship. So right now I'm figuring out, I got some lemons in the corner. Scurvy is a real problem. I got some netting. It's not the best looking place, but I think her biggest effort is to make sure it feels as cozy as possible. So, got some pillows and cushions sort of thrown down. I took a lot of inspiration from Nebia's character for like a lot of Middle Eastern culture, and their sort of guest areas there tend to be these like low to the ground cushions. So I imagine she tries to replicate like kind of this plush setting even in her own space.
That's really cool. Could you talk a little bit more about that? Like, what was your? First of all, I love what you're doing with it. I feel like it does give. I think you're going to work more, but with that little corner with the cushions and stuff like that you managed to build on the platform,
Yeah.
does give off that like cozy vibe in more rundown space. You know what I mean? Like it really
Mhm.
works. I think you did a good job.
It's that kind of thing. It's like home is
Yeah.
sort of what you make of it.
Mhm.
And as someone who probably is like traveling place to place, hasn't really like carved out a spot of her own, so long as like she has her few little things, that's home enough.
Yeah, it's really cute. Could you go into detail more about like your process for like character building? Because you talked about like Middle Eastern influences, you talked about your love of history. I know your love of history. Could you please talk a little bit more about like what went into creating this character without spoiling to the viewers as to what like everything going on with it?
Yeah, so for me, it's the same kind of attitude I take towards art making in general. It's sort of the same process. I just really think hard about like what story am I trying to get across, and I think of my favorite tropes that are out there and what deep down like I just super enjoy doing, because ultimately like your character is gonna be a little bit of your own guilty pleasure, in my opinion. And so for me, I wanted to have a character who could be very reactive. I enjoy doing that as a role player. I enjoy characters who aren't necessarily like who can flip a trope on its head. So I started from there, and I looked at characters I've loved from anime, from manga, from video games, and then I tried to pull little pieces of details from history, as you mentioned. So I was reading up on Moorish Spain. I was reading up on actual accounts of sailors in Tunisia, of pearl divers from the Gulf countries, and trying to get little pieces of of our world into this fantasy world. So it feels specific, and it feels, like this could be a real person.
Yeah, we've talked about this so much, you and I, especially because we did a lot of like the lore building of Port Gamela together. Port Gamela is a city where this campaign will take place, and on session 0 we'll get to tour it. So get ready for that next week. But like we will tour like every level inside of, not every level. I'm not showing you everything. What fun would that be? But we're gonna see a little bit more of the city that we've been building on Multiverse. But I really love that. We talked a lot about like getting inspiration from history, and I think that like we really side on that, you and I, of like melding history or using history to your advantage to do that kind of thing. I think it looks amazing. Yeah. Well, I see that everyone is catching up with their roots.
Getting there.
That's fantastic. I will love to turn the conversation a little bit to Meg, because Meg and I know each other. I think that like for the longest, at least that I know you guys, for the longest, because we met before. Before Multiverse, but you joined Multiverse before me. What got you into game dev?
Oh boy. So first of all, can you hear me? I just want to make sure my mic is okay. Cool.
Yeah, of course.
So honestly, my partner and I did a game jam together, and game jams really kind of sparked my fire. Game jams are an amazing way to learn. I don't know, it's honestly how I ended up learning how to be a game developer, is doing game jams. I would learn and on my own. I would watch YouTube videos all the time. I learned 3D modeling, I learned pixel art, I learned animation, all of these different aspects of the game development pipeline. When you're doing kind of indie development, you kind of do a bit of everything. And so I taught myself those things, and then a game jam would be the time where you really test all that out in like a super quick and fast way. In just 3 days, you have to make a game. And I really loved that. I loved that energy, and it's really what kind of got me into game development. Just kind of working so quickly, and then I found the community. And that's how I met you, Antonio. And
we met through a Discord chat. We met
through a Discord chat. Yeah, exactly. And it's led to such wonderful friendships. The game development community is amazing, and it's how I ended up getting my job at Multiverse. Is through Twitter. I saw a post by Sarah. She posted about a pixel artist, and it was just me and 2 other engineers at the start, where like we were just going back and forth while everyone else quit their jobs and finished their projects to join us. And it was super ragtag, and we've come like such a long way, and it feels really good. I'm so glad to be hopping around here in level with you all.
Yeah.
Just so sentimental.
I think that everyone is so proud of the thing, which is what makes it fun, I think. You know what I mean? Because it's the baby. Yeah. So what you've been building here is you play with all the colors of the rainbow. Yeah,
that's right. Joy is very colorful.
You don't say.
I mean, her name really gives it away, like Joy. She really wants to bring the light into the world, and she really loves drapery. When I was building her character, I found some videos of like ribbon dancing, and not to get too spoilery, but it was really inspiring. And she has a glaive, and it has a ribbon on it, and I'll just say that. But she is super sweet, but also fierce, and very, very protective. Very like rules, but like rules are important, but also if it gets in the way of having like a really good time, like maybe you can bend the rules a little bit, a little bit of a party paladin, but also more of like the party planner paladin, where she facilitates the fun,
Megan, I have to ask you, are you familiar with Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, I'm not.
I was
Well,
thinking
for
the exact
those
same
who
thing.
are, I'm like, does Joy have a binder full of, party
I was
planning
thinking the
things?
exact same thing. Oh, exact same wavelength.
A big Amy Santiago energy, and we love you for it.
Oh, good. I need to see who this character is. That's very important. I will do my homework. More inspiration.
The more you talk, the better it gets.
But yeah, I'm so excited to play her. I'm used to kind of playing like cutesy characters. I guess I really like, just being a magical and having a magical character and lovely things. But I also try to explore that genre a bit more and see what kind of interesting takes on cute I can bring, or like sweet. I don't want it to be boring. I don't want my character to be boring. I also like to explore complex emotions and complex feelings, and I want to explore that with everyone else here. So she's not just fun and the party paladin or whatever you want to call her. There's more to her, and I'm really, really excited to explore that with everyone.
No, I'm gonna expose Meg here a little bit. I would say that I went with every player like individual sessions to talk about their character's backstory, what do they think, what arc do they envision for this character, and stuff like that, to really introduce that into the main story of the campaign. We're gonna be playing 5e, by the way. I think I said it 7 times, but now you know for the 6th time. Megan was the player that asked me the most times, like, do you think this is enough? Like, do you think this is deep? Do you think this is sufficiently? Do you think that?
I'm like, does she have dimension?
Do you think she has dimension? I don't want
is
her to
she
be
more than just a cute person?
Yeah, I'm very excited for everyone to meet Joy. I think that people are gonna love her, and
I think so too. I hope so.
She's very three-dimensional. She's fun.
We already love Joy.
We already love Joy.
Yeah.
You guys.
Exactly, yeah.
So switching from game dev to something more relevant to the thing we're doing right now, both Drac and Nuno, you guys do professional streaming. However, you said that you basically, Drac, you said that you know how people fall into fandoms, you like face planted into the fandom, you like went on the deep end hard enough, and now you're like doing this full time. What is it about like TTRPGs what is it about specifically streaming then that really called you to it?
Oh boy, it's going to reveal a lot about who I am as a person. I've always enjoyed storytelling. I've just never had the patience to finish writing a story. And TTRPGs just gives me the instant gratification I need. I just kind of very quickly, with people that I enjoy hanging out with, just tell a story. Each session is, like most sessions, depending on the campaign, can be a whole story in and of itself. So it doesn't feel like I've stopped halfway through every single session. So I kind of get that creative juices flowing without having to do the extra labor of writing and having to plan every single detail out. Most of the writing I ever do is most likely my backstory, because I definitely dive way too deep in that. I probably have like my first character had like at least 3 or 4 pages of backstory. None of it came up, but I was like, I need to understand who I'm playing. I need to know. So yeah, that kind of like scratched that itch for me. I was never great at sticking to writing, so TTRPGs kind of went around that for me.
I think that's a very common I just didn't gel with like storytelling in the sense of like a novel, and this allowed me to tell stories in a very different way. And looking at this room, the story that you wanted to tell was nerd.
Yes, honestly, yes. I'm happy you got that. I was like, do I need more books? I don't know if I'm really getting that message across.
I think I need books. I do. Yeah.
But
tell us a little bit more about that. Like, what is this room telling about your character?
Or I'm trying to show that yes, he's a nerd, but also very disorganized. A very disorganized one. He just kind of goes with when he has inspiration, he drops whatever he's doing at that moment and goes to start working on that next new thing until he gets bored of that and then moves on to another. So kind of have that like represented as all the books, open books and piles and loose pieces of paper littered around with him like drawing out one invention and being like, wait, I just had an idea for another one, and then just stops with that one and immediately moves to his new idea.
Yeah, I think that like conveys that. I just realized while you were talking that I mean, you've seen our beautiful, beautiful graphics, so you might know what everyone's class is, but I think that maybe it would be a good idea to go through that. So,
Yeah,
what
that's a
is
good
your
point.
class?
Yeah, so I'm playing Zala, who is a Yuan-Ti, and his class is an artificer. He's going to be an armor artificer. So yeah, his thing is all about mixing technology with magic. And so that's kind of I'm going to be adding more tech around, but I wanted to start off with the books because I think he's definitely
You're going for like
huge nerd.
lab mechanic shop kind of aesthetic.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's looking good. Yeah. What is Joy, Meg?
Joy.
I mean, you said just a
Joy's
paladin.
a party paladin. What are you
What
talking
kind of
about?
paladin?
A devotion paladin.
Ooh, devotion.
So yes, devotion paladin. We'll see
Devotion
what that means for her exactly.
Yeah. You don't reveal your secrets too soon. What about Nebula?
Ever.
Nevia is a bard of lore. I definitely want her to be kind of an entertainer, collecting stories, collecting every little piece of poetry and adventurous tale that she can share wherever she is.
Dragon Tales. Yeah. And coming to the last, but very not least, this is the fanciest room for the fanciest of boys. Nuno.
Correct.
What is your boy? First of all,
My boy is a very fancy boy, and he is
that
a
the class?
bard. Yeah,
Fancy boy.
bard of fanciness. I think they released it in the latest book. I'm not sure. We'll have to double
boy
check
bard
that,
of
Antonio.
fanciness.
No, it's not too far off though. He's from the College of Eloquence, actually. And as you can see by the room, if I move around a little bit, he's a bit of an artiste, of a man of the spoken words.
Oh, is he a writer?
He is a writer, poet. He dabbles in many forms of writing in general, but his predilect one is definitely poetry.
I see. And yet he is this fancy.
Yeah, it doesn't always go well, as you can see by the scraps of paper all around his toppled chair. Yeah.
I love the room that you built, though. It looks very cozy in a fancy sort of way.
Yeah.
Giving very like Wizard Tower meets Bar Tower. There's no bar towers, but
Bar Tower.
If there were, it would look like
Which aren't there?
Yeah.
You know what? I think we should have more bard towers and wizard towers.
I think
honestly,
so. Yeah, I
It
think
would
that
be
bar
much
maybe
more
it
fun.
would be Bard Center of Culture or something like that. So for you, I mean, I know that you love streaming just like Drac. I don't know how much experience you have with video games in the sense of like a player. Is that a thing that because I don't remember talking a lot about video games with you.
Yeah, I don't think we've spoken about that actually. Yeah. Yes, I am a huge video game nerd.
Because we talk about TTRPGs like hours and hours and hours on end, but sometimes
cannot believe we neglect the video games. I cannot believe this.
So what is about if you like compare your love of video games to your love of TTRPG, and you must love it because you're constantly streaming it. What is it that you get in TTRPGs that you can't get in video games? Like what pushed you towards that?
Actually, I don't like TTRPGs. I'm forced to stream every week. I swear I didn't want to, but people just force me. What can I do?
Do you know what NDA is? Or do you think it's a joke? You are under NDA, I would remind you.
I'm out of here. Goodbye. Of course. Of course I love it TTRPGs. It's just different. It's the feeling that because my main video game type that I used to play is MMOs. But because I like the social aspect of it. But with TTRPGs, you get that same social aspect when you play with your friends, with your even with strangers, can be super fun. And the difference is it's boundless. For me, it's the boundless aspect of it. While in video games, doesn't matter how well it's built, how well randomized, how well the artificial intelligence on it works. It's always going to be, you're always going to see the walls there. All right, this is the limit of the content, or the content just repeats over and over. And even with the same content, if you run the same adventure for two different parties in D&D, or you play the same adventure with two different characters, it's going to be a complete different experience. And I feel like it's just the unlimited potential of TTRPGs that make it that much better for me.
Like the endless aspect of like there truly isn't like a thing you cannot really do. Like in the sense of like if there's a thing you can't do, it's because you're not able to do it, not because you're not supposed to do it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah,
at least you can try.
I would like to do a room check because I do want to see more of these rooms.
Yes.
Such a dormitory kind of feeling. Room check.
Room check.
Yeah. Room check.
How about we start with Nebia? We haven't heard of Nebia for a while.
Yeah.
Wow, a chicken just appeared.
Yeah. I was just thinking to myself, you know, like what is normally stored at the bottom of a ship?
Chicken.
And they always have just a little bit of livestock. So I imagine like her first audience member, the one like, you know, testing everything is going to be like this trusty rooster that they have on the ship. I was thinking like maybe a standard chicken, but they would cook a chicken eventually.
Yeah.
So like at least a rooster is sticking around for a little bit longer. And yeah, tried to make it a little cozier, tried to add some of the weaponry that I know she's going to have in the campaign. Going to save some of the other little details for later so I don't spoil everything right out the gate. And really just leaning into what this character is, what they value, you know. I think they appreciate a little bit of clutter around, and I imagine she herself, as she carries herself, is a little bit of a cluttered person. And yeah, it seems like Joy's around the corner trying to get in. Stop snooping.
Joy's creeping around.
Yeah. And try to also, you know, give a little bit of like a hint of the world that's outside as well, with the stone emblem at the front, and thinking kind of the superstitions that a sailor as well might be carrying with them.
I love that.
And looking forward to having some fun with that in the game.
Moana vibes. The chicken is giving me particularly. I think that
Moana vibes.
Yeah, we need to explore that further.
I can make it a cow. I'm down for a cow.
No, I'm down. I love the chicken. Are you kidding? No, absolutely.
I'm giving her a cow.
No, and I love that little like sash that you place over the door. It really does work. Cow.
Yeah.
I will give you chicken.
Cow.
I won't give. We can't have. You can't have that much power. We're only level 3. By the way, we're starting at level 3. That's an important thing.
Okay.
I saw
Cow kicks in at level 5. That's part of
that is part of the
Bard,
class.
I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Nancy boy. That's.
I'll get it when I level up my spells.
Exactly.
All
when you
right.
level up and you get more spells, you will get access to Cow. It's one of your class features.
Thank you.
Get back to your room and tell us what is up with it.
For Joy?
Yeah, for Joy.
For Joy. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
She has to run back to her
She
room.
has to run back.
It's offering me some pie.
It's so funny because the only
Aggressively.
people that can do that is you and Drag, because we set up the rooms. So you like them, I cannot leave.
Hello and welcome to my crib.
Welcome
So I have cozied it up. I have added a nice assortment of desserts here. You know, desserts are the coziest food and bring the coziest feelings. Same with breakfast. And you know, some good old street food. I think Joy is really a fan of food in general, just because of the happiness it brings to people. She really does not cook. This was all purchased.
But here we have dummies for murder and crimes.
Oh, right, yeah. So here we have her weapon rack, very important, nice and clean, beautifully taken care of. And over here, the dummy, definitely replaced super often. She will stitch together new ones as well. She can stitch, and she has lots of extra cloth hanging around.
Yes.
So she'll fix
She makes
it
her
up.
own dummies. She's like,
Yeah, she does. She
what are
makes
you
her own
doing?
dummies. She goes through a lot, so you know.
She has a glaive. She's a glaver girl.
Yeah, she is. I'm so excited to bring some style to the way I use my glaive. I'm super excited about that. I've never played a polearm ever, but it seems like a really fun weapon.
I love them.
Yeah, it's super cool. So, and she's so tall. It just suits her, right? Like, she is extremely tall. Where are you shorties at? So I can show them in comparison how much taller she is.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
That
that's
was
the most
not
fun
Joy.
thing
That
is
was me.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was, I'm gonna say
Oh,
Joy
to be
didn't do
clear.
that was me. To be clear.
Short king.
Came to my own house, came
Yeah.
to my own
Come
abode
into
just
my
to
house.
insult me.
You insult my house.
Unacceptable.
My favorite thing about Joy is that she does look like an anime fantasy magical girl, but she is
Absolutely,
like
100%.
6'7".
Like,
Yeah.
And she wears heels on top of that. She's like, no, I want to be taller.
She's tall.
Like, let me be
Tall.
clear.
Now that this
Huge. Hold on.
now that this rude ass giraffe has insulted our short king, I see we've added more books, but we've also added some spooky potions.
Yes.
Yes. It's looking more and more like a lab. It's looking really good.
Yeah, I'm glad because I've just been throwing everything I can, and I was like, maybe I should make it look nice, and I realized like, no, I shouldn't. That's the whole point. He doesn't know how to make anything look nice. Aesthetics is not his thing, so he just puts anything where it seems to be functional.
I will say, like, it's impressive because Drag does a multiverse is not particularly centered on like building levels, and this is like if this is what you can do, like it's a testament to the platform and to you that this looks as good as you do as with like the little experience building levels. This looks nice.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm gonna be adding a bit more tech now. Now I've got I think I've made it clear that he's a nerd. I don't know. I might need to add a few more books.
We understand.
But,
now we understand even more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna add some more tech because he's very much anything that he can't do, he's gonna make a machine that can. It's kind of his idea.
Yeah, fantastic. Nuno, I mean, it is just as fancy as before, but now we have books. We have a straw hat that I really try not to call a Luffy hat. Tell us more. I think this is looking so good already. I do that, Nuno?
Oh, you're muted,
I'm muted.
sir.
Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Wow. Professional streamer, everybody.
Professional. Yeah. Not joking, but in my current streaming group, we call being muted Nunoing. So there you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Yeah.
He comes with
I guess we'll have to get
backstory.
used to that, huh?
It's part of it.
There's lore. But yeah, I've added a bit of more clothing, a bit more chaos in the room. Because when he's in the zone, in his creative mood, he doesn't have time to put away clothes. Some things are folded, but he doesn't fold them. People just bring them in and put them here, and then
They bring them for him.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, a room this fancy, right? It needs
This
to
is only
be
for the fanciest of boys.
yeah, it needs to be in a house equally as fancy. I feel, and a house that fancy probably comes from money, and that's actually a good question, a good point, because most of the starting point when I was creating the character was basically when we had our group discussion about what Port Camello was going to be. We touched a little bit on how the higher up class would look like and what their habits would be and whatnot, and that kind of gave me a few ideas I wanted to spin off of, and yeah, here we are.
It's looking great. I know the character, so I'm very excited, but I think that this is it represents the character very well. Yeah, I know where you're going with it, and it's fun to see. It's really fun to see. I feel like for the viewers it's fun because like this is like very cool introduction, visual introduction to your characters. But for me it's fun because I know these characters just by you talking, like telling me what they are all about, and I kind of like getting to see the visuals really fun. I imagine for you guys, since you guys they don't know anything about the others.
Yeah.
So I think it's fun too. This might be like the closest you've gotten to like knowing what the others are playing. Yeah,
That's true. Yeah,
we have two bards because God is evil, and
But we're different bards.
We're different.
I'm not like other bards.
I mean,
Like other bards, you know.
if you zoom in on Leon's room and Nebbia's room, I kind of see that they're very
much
different.
And welcome back, everybody. We're back. So we're gonna close out today's session in a very specific way. If you are like very used to our streams, you might have seen this before, but maybe it's new for you. This is the map for Gamello. This is the map where the entire campaign will take place. Everything that will happen during the Shepherd Trials will take place in this city. So I thought it would be fun if we showed you around the city a little bit. You can see some little ants moving around. Those are the players. They're having fun over there. But this is our overworld, basically. This is our world map, right? So starting off with like the most obvious feature for Gamello, I would say, is you see that it's kind of divided in two halves. The left half we call the western half, and the eastern hand. We call them hands. This whole thing is because it was originally two cities that kind of like decided to work together and became one city, which of course has like some kind of political ramifications on it to kind of like make this city baked into conflict from the very start. So if we look at the city a little bit more closely, you will see that here is the big council building. The council building is where the big decisions of Port Gamello happen. Basically, it's this big sort of like administration body of the city. That's where the council members decide basically the fate of the city. If we go a little bit to the left, where everyone's hanging out, you would see that that's the library of Port Gamello. The library of Port Gamello it will be visited throughout the campaign all the time. You will see a lot of it. Over here, right to the right of the library, you will see that's the noble district of Port Gamello. You can see an opera house. You can see the big houses of the nobles. To the right, you will see the University of Port Gamello. We will visit that. I think that less than the library, but we'll probably visit it soon enough. If we go down a little bit more to this side, you see that this is the market district of Port Gamello. This is where like big commerce happens. This is where you go to if you want to buy anything in Port Gamello. It's the market district because it's right next to the docks. It's right next to a lot of like basically the trade of like the heart of trade of Port Gamello is there. To the left is the slums. You would actually see this more in our Discord campaign that I'll talk about. We'll talk a little bit more about at the end. And here is one of the bags for the shepherds. That kind of brings me beautifully. I'm so good, DM. I'm so good at DM. That brings me beautifully into someone put a starfish right next to it. Partition basement. Thank you. That whole thing kind of brings me into the story of the campaign. This campaign is called the Shepherd Trials for a reason. Basically, all four players that we've talked about so much are gonna be competing in this kind of like anime-esque tournament arc to become a shepherd. A shepherd is like a fantasy superhero, basically. It's this big like organization of people that basically some of them fight, some of them do research, some of them are called free shepherds and they just go around and do completely different jobs from one another. They're all going to be looking to become a shepherd, and we'll get into why, and we'll get into like that kind of sort of competition, and people are competing in the campaign. And what's up with that? I think it's going to be really, really fun, and I'm very excited to run it. But I thought that a good little bow to this would be to show you one of our levels. I think that a fun one, and I don't think it's much of a spoiler because you will be visiting this a lot, is the library. So if, oh god, I forget again what you want it to be called, the operator. Would like to go towards the library, which is at the top left of the city. That big square building. I'm gonna put a bookshelf right next to it, so it's very easy to see. You can already see the players fucking in like ants to a sugar cube.
Ants to a piece of sugar. Let us in! Let us in! Why aren't you open?
Let's go there. Okay, now it's a portal.
All right,
we can jump into it. So basically, that's how it's going to work. And this is like the platform that we've been working on. This is like the kind of thing that it allows you to do. You basically just plop down a thing. It becomes a door to an entire... I mean, in D&D, we would call this battle map, but it's not really a battle map. You don't have to do battles anymore. Like, you don't have to do battles here. You can, of course, do that, but you can also just hang out and, like... a thing becomes a completely different, like, you know what I mean? Like a tavern, instead of like, you can complement the description of a tavern with a whole level what that players can interact with. They can like sit at a table, they can talk. It's kind of like gives you that extra kind of video gamey, but also very like visual aspect to your campaign, and that's what we are really excited to show. So as you can see here, this is our library level. It's just one of the many like floors the library has, and we will be hanging out here a whole lot. We will be here a lot of the time, and the players will see. It's kind of news to them, but yeah. How does it feel to traverse the levels, guys?
That's actually pretty fun.
It's
I love it.
instantaneous. Like for me,
Yeah.
the closest thing that I can relate to it is like when a chapter of a book, like you flip the page and it's like there's somewhere new. It has that same
Yeah.
immediate step of a story that you don't even truly get with video games too, because I guess like the loading is that much faster. But it didn't always used to be that fast.
Oh, boy.
Game dev. Yeah, I don't know. It's so cool to be able to say like, oh, let's go visit the library, making that choice as a character, and then actually having that ready to go. A GM doesn't need to like worry about that.
Yeah, and I want to make it super clear. I'm a super descriptive DM. I like to paint a picture with words and tell like what the smells of the place are and stuff like that. I don't think that like, and what I like about this is that it's not stopping that at all. You know what I mean? I can still get to this stuff like that, but it also gives like that moment of just like going into the level and exploring it yourself. I think it's really fun. So
Yeah, it's really neat to know that what I'm picturing in my head is going to be the same thing that everyone else is seeing as well. So we're on the same page in terms of parameter, which helps a lot with roleplay. So I don't have to keep saying, can I roll a perception check because we all see what's going on, you know?
But there is like space to do that. Like there is the space of like, maybe it's a thing that you literally do not put on the map because people have not seen it yet. You know what I mean? Like that's the fun thing of it. And I really do enjoy it. I'm just so excited to run it this way.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm excited too. I mean, I don't know, there's just something really special. You know, like when you're playing like Mario Odyssey or like a game where it's all about kind of discovery, you know, and that feeling of like, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like wonder, you know, where you turn around the corner and all of a sudden there's a portal there that you can go through and it leads to a dungeon that you weren't expecting to be there, or like you find a secret hidden underground like cavern with like pools of water, and it's just like it's so cool that you can discover those things yourself and that it kind of creates an actual immersive world that you get to explore. I don't mean to sound too much like a commercial when I'm talking about it like this, but also I think
mean, you are the
actually
level designer. This is your time to shine.
But it's honestly, it tickles me. You know, I get so excited by the idea of people just like discovering what this platform can do. You know, I don't know, the feeling discovery and wonder is just like one of my favorite things in games in general.
I think it's the ability to have that interactability that's so characteristic of video games, but still have that boundless environment that I was describing earlier before the break, right? It's that like that brilliance of TTRPGs, but still having those clickable moments and discovery and whatnot that Meg was just saying. It's the joining of those both two worlds.
Before we go on,
the biggest thing for me.
One second, before this is just like that. We are going to close out today's stream with a little bit of a question moment. So if you have any questions about anything, campaign, characters, the platform, anything, go ahead and think of those now. We have someone in chat that can be like, hey, this person asked this. You know what I mean? So
just
put those in, and we'll get to those right before ending the stream today. Sorry for interrupting you. I just remember that we wanted to do that.
No, it's all good. That is much more important than what I was going to say, which is I'm so thrilled I get to do stuff without a GM in TTRPGs.
Would you elaborate on that?
But to be clear, like, I mean, I get to talk to Nuno with the chat. I get to do things, pick things up, you know, interact with this world without necessarily like a DM hand-holding the world with me and narrating every single step. So it takes off a lot of pressure on me, especially as like a newer D&D player. I think I have the least amount of experience of everyone in this group. And Antonio was actually my first ever GM.
Yeah, I'm so
You
sorry for
walked me
that.
through my first D&D game. No, it was amazing. But there's a lot of little like tips and tricks and etiquette that comes around role playing that are just not as intuitive for someone who's brand new to it. And with this kind of style of like interactable levels, I don't need to worry about that as much because I can just go do a lot of the things that I normally have to ask my GM for.
Yeah, I think that like as a person that has run too much D&D for my own good or for anyone else's, I would say that like it does give a very different outlook as to like, okay, how do I want to go about this? Like, how do I? It's the kind of thing where like maybe I don't have to like spend 70 times that there is a door actually in this room. You know what I mean? They can see it. But I also like feel completely justified in being like, well, you didn't see that thing because you don't have your passive perception is not that high. You know what I mean? You didn't ask for a perception check, so you didn't see like the armor was like rattling on the corner. Like it's that kind of thing where like it does allow for very baseline, very like typical D&D RPG, but it also allows for completely different games, and we'll talk about that soon. Please remind me if I don't do it. I want to talk about that, but we'll talk about that very soon. But it also